Hello together and welcome back to my next weekend update on the financial markets. We talk about S&P 500, US oil, gold, and last but not least, Bitcoin. I have now 7 years experience in the financial markets, and I make these updates so that you know what to do in the markets in the next days and weeks. Let's start directly with the S&P 500 index on the weekly time frame. Here we can see that the S&P 500 index is in a bullish situation because we are above the 200 moving average. We are above the weekly uptrend line. We left behind the last major resistance zone and are currently in the 1 to 3rd weekly impulse to the upside. Let's drop down to the daily time frame to look into this 3rd weekly impulse to the upside. There we can see that we had so far 2 daily impulses. First impulse, first correction, second impulse. We are currently in the second daily impulse of this 3rd weekly impulse to the upside since the last major lows. And yeah, at the moment, all looks like we will continue. We have no divergence in the MACD. Everything looks bullish. On the 4-hour time frame, we can see that also the 4-hour blue dotted uptrend line is intact, not broken to the downside. And yeah, what should I say? I stay invested with my 20% allocation in an S&P 500 ETF and not plan to sell anything of that till I see major setbacks breaking below this uptrend line. Till then, I will use smaller pullbacks maybe to this daily uptrend line in combination with some support zones to buy more S&P 500 ETF shares and enlarge my actual position maybe to 25 or 30%. We will see. I keep you updated on that in my next weekly update, so stay tuned. And now we switch back to the weekly and US oil. On US oil, we can see that we had a monthly downtrend line that got broken to the upside in combination with the monthly 200 moving average, and also a break above the monthly support and resistance zone that often got tested a couple times in the history of US oil. And currently we are right at that level, which is a key level. So there is where price action takes place. Currently we are getting supported by the 200 moving average. We broke the weekly uptrend line also, downtrend line also to the upside, which is a bullish sign. If we drop down to the daily, we can see we had a smaller daily correction drawn in white, and also a 200 moving average and a daily support and resistance zone. All 3 things broken to the upside. And yeah, that was the point where I started to buy some position into US oil via ETF. 20% of my account balance went straight into it. And since then we have seen rising prices. Here's a smaller dotted uptrend line that got broken to the downside. Last time I discussed a break below that and a possible move to this daily support zone in combination with the 200 moving average. I was able to draw a smaller 4-hour downtrend line that got broken to the upside. Maybe this was already the retest of this zone, and from here we see directly higher prices, but there's also the possibility that we will see an A, B, C correction to a maybe deeper level. Also possible that we will go all the way back again to this weekly downtrend line to retest that level before then breaking this ABC level to the upside and see new all-time highs from here. Yeah, if you're not invested yet, I would say it's not too late, and maybe use some setbacks around that level. Maybe it can dip a little bit deeper, and if you want to go really safe, wait for a break above this blue dotted downtrend line of this ABC correction if it develops. Yeah, that's my update on US oil. Let's go directly to gold back on the weekly time frame. Here we can see that gold is rising higher. Some major indicators on the weekly time frame, we are above the monthly uptrend line and also the weekly uptrend line here drawn in orange. We are above the 200 moving average, and we broke finally above a very often tested area in the past, and from there on price skyrocketed to the upside, and then we went in a consolidation zone. On the daily time frame, I often said that I want to see a nice big setback to the breakout zone. Gold never did me that favor. I was able to draw this daily white uptrend line, and I said if gold sets back to it, that would be a perfect spot in combination with the 200 moving average to get a position in gold, maybe 20% of my trading capital for that account. But gold hasn't done that favor to me yet, and it looks like gold could easily correct in this sideways movement and break then higher to the upside without giving me this opportunity ever. So I decided to get in with 10% of my account balance on a gold ETF so that I don't miss this breakout to the upside and rising prices. So far that was also a good idea, like we can see on the 4-hour time frame. I am a little bit in plus with my position. We are now at the upper band of this sideways consolidation zone. Maybe we will see a break below this blue dotted uptrend line and test again the lower band of this correction, and maybe we'll see the final breakout correction and then the move to this daily uptrend line where I would like to add to my position and make out of 10%, 20% or something like that. But there's also the possibility that because we are above this 200 moving average, that this was already the sideways consolidation and that we will see in the near time a break above this upper resistance zone. And there I have a notification that will get on my smartphone, so I know that price crossed this area to the upside, and then I will probably look out for buying this breakout to the upside. So I get money of following this breakout to the upside further. Yeah, so if you're not invested yet, think about it. I think it's not the worst to get a foot in the door while it's consolidating in this range, because the overall uptrend is intact, and I think we will see in the future higher prices than we have seen now. Use setbacks to get into the market. I would change my bullish opportunity opinion first if we see price decline below this massive and often tested resistance zone that now turns support. So if price comes all the way back down to this weekly uptrend line and support zone, that should stop price from declining further, and from there we should build a base and then go higher again. So yeah, a break below these things in the 200 moving average, especially below this monthly uptrend line, would be pretty bearish, but I don't see no reason for that. So stay bullish on the gold market. Let's switch to another bullish market, the Bitcoin against US dollar market. At least bullish on the weekly time frame, where we can see that we have reached the all-time highs from November 2021, but price wasn't able to hold that and broke again to the downside in the area of this weekly uptrend line. And here you see it right, we broke even below this weekly orange uptrend line and are currently making a retest. That's what I always wanted to see in my bearish scenario. What wasn't that likely for me, but there we are, we have it. And on the daily time frame you can also see that we are at the moment below the 200 moving average, and price comes against it from the downside. If we get rejected here and break below this small retest of the break, then I would think about selling my 20% Bitcoin in my account balance. So I have a notification here that rings on my smartphone if we cross the 53,000 US dollar mark. But yeah, there's also the possibility that we will see a break above, back above this weekly uptrend line, the daily downtrend line, and the daily resistance zone. Then I also will get a notification on my smartphone if we break above the 60,900 US dollar mark, and I would be interested again in getting longs and building out my current position from 20% to probably 30% Bitcoin in my portfolio. At the moment MACD looks like it want to cross to the upside. That would be a bullish sign. Let's see if it continues. So there are my two scenarios. A, I sell if we see prices below this retest. B, I will buy if we see prices crossing again above all these indicators weekly uptrend line, 200 moving average, daily downtrend line, and daily resistance zone. Yeah, that's it so far for Bitcoin. I hope you enjoy your weekend and much luck with trading the start of next week. Bye bye.